What is going on, y'all? Welcome back to the Locks DFS MLB breakdown. My name is Narang. I'm from locksdfs.com, and I will be breaking down this 14-game main slate for Friday, May 31st on both DraftKings and FanDuel. Before I get into that, real quick, let me go ahead and show you all the website, locksdfs.com. If you are interested in getting a pass, this is the slate to do so, in my opinion, just because these videos are fairly condensed. I talk about a few of my favorite starting pitching options, basically two of them. And I talk about two of my favorite stacks, but there's just so much on this slate, as you can see, as far as pitching and hitting goes, that the sheet is going to be extensive. The conversation we're going to have in our Slack chat is going to be extensive. Our articles are going to be extensive. So reading those and consuming those is going to be beneficial as well, in addition to just listening to these videos. So if you are interested, definitely check out a pass here. You can get a 1 month sports pass for $40 and just get in for the month for baseball. See how you like it. If you don't like it, you don't have to renew the pass. So totally up to you, but I definitely recommend it. And if you are interested in getting the season pass and just joining for good, go ahead and do so here. And if you want a chance to win a free season pass, you guys already know, leave a like, leave a comment. We run the same giveaway every single week where we like to give back to our most active viewers, members, those leaving likes, those leaving comments. We go through our videos at the end of every week, read all the comments, see who left some of our favorite comments, and we randomly pick one of y'all to win a free season pass. But we announced that winner on Monday. So if you want to get in for it today, just go ahead and get yourself a pass. And then if you do win the giveaway, use it on football or basketball or hockey or something next season. So, but yeah, just leave a like, leave a comment to be entered into that. And with that being said, let's just get into this slate because there is so much to talk about. As you guys can see with the screen I got pulled up, there is just endless high-priced pitching options you can look to. We have a guy like Zack Wheeler. He's like, the 10th pitcher listed on DraftKings, which is insane considering how dominant he's been. But I mean, that's just the state of the slate that we have. So we'll start talking about it. And as usually, I like to go into my favorite high price point per dollar pitcher. I'm going to do the same thing today. And for that is going to be Trevor Bauer at 9,200 versus the Chicago White Sox. So we just saw Carlos Carrasco kind of have a pretty bad game in this spot versus the White Sox last night, but definitely not going to shy away from it just because of that. Over the last 14 days, we do know the Chicago White Sox are striking at the league's highest rate, tied with the Padres. They got one of the lowest WRC pluses at 80, and that goes along with a really low walk rate as well at 5.1%. The reason I mentioned the walk rate specifically is because Trevor Bauer actually has had some command issues to begin this season. As you can see, versus lefties, he's walking he's walking a little over 5 batters per 9 with a 5.7 xFIP that'll really drive that number up. In addition to the fly balls he's given up, walking still a little too many, 3.61 walks per 9 to right-handed bats, which is just not what you want to see from an ace. But the swing and miss stuff is still there. I had it pulled up earlier. It's just under 12%, which is still fairly good. The hard contact's up a little bit. The fly balls are up a little bit, but it's just such a good spot for strikeouts. And Trevor Bauer is the kind of pitcher that you've seen go 120 pitches fairly regularly almost. If we just pull up his game log, we can see the fact that, where are we at? We can see the fact that this guy goes 109, 123, 122, 105, 118, 120, 112. So when you're getting that at 9.2K versus in a high strikeout spot, it just makes sense to sort of get that player in your lineup. So going to be really interested in him as a SP1 or SP2, depending on how you build the rest of your team. And then I think another guy that's fairly interesting is a guy that I mentioned earlier in the video, Zack Wheeler. 10.8% swinging strike rate. Pitching on the road in Arizona. He's got great numbers on the year. 3.24 xFIP to righties, 4.3 to lefties. He's striking out more lefties than he is righties, which makes sense when you look at his pitch mix. He can really get a lot of these lefties to swing and miss, which should be good because this Arizona lineup should have a fair amount of lefties in it. He does a good job of getting ground balls, 53% to righties, 38% to lefties. Does a good job of limiting hard contact to right-handed bats. Just a really good pitcher who we've seen put up monster scores. And he's just fairly cheap, 8.7K, I believe. And we've seen him extend his pitch count as well. 102, 118, 107, 111, 105, 109, 111. So in the day and age where pitchers are getting pulled early in games, guys like Luke Casey, Peacock, Maeda, it's nice that you're kind of securing yourself 100 plus pitches from both these guys if they're just doing decently well. I mean, we saw Carrasco kind of do pretty poorly, yet he still came out for the 7th inning at like 100 pitches. So it's nice when you get that in your starting pitching. So I'm going to be looking at those two guys. Like I said, there's so many other options on the slate up and down it. So if you're interested, man, locksdfs.com. We're going to be talking about it in the Slack chat right here all day. But with that being said, let's move on to some bats. So the first spot I want to talk about is Edwin Jackson in Coors. I mean, it's like the unavoidable spot on the slate. I should have already had his numbers pulled up, to be honest, but let me pull them up for you guys right now. Giving up a 5.37 xFIP to lefties, 5.72 to righties. All his home runs are coming to right-handed bats, but that should regress in the other way as well because he's still giving up hard contact to left-handed bats, 38% to lefties, 44% to righties. Pitching in Coors Field, the dude has if I go to Baseball Savant, which I had pulled up right here, and we just scroll down and look at Edwin Jackson's barrel rate, he's giving up a barrel 17.6% of the time. That's insane. That's got to be the highest mark this year. And now he's pitching in Coors Field versus the Rockies, who have a freaking 7.6 implied team total, rising from 7.3. It's rare that you see a team total that opened at 7.3 rise to 7.6. But this is such a Rockies explosion spot that, I mean, your lineup should definitely have 4 Rockies in it. And if you can afford it, probably 5. It's just such a good spot for them to stack them up. If you do want to play them as 1-offs or 2-offs or even 3-offs, just throw them in because the more the merrier. I'm going to be looking at Nato, Story. Obviously, you saw the reverse splits. Dahl and Tapia are still 4.7 and 4.6 respectively. That's way too cheap. Daniel Murphy still under 5K. That's way too cheap. So a lot of options for you to choose from here. And I'm going to just say, like, take your picking. Have fun. Pick them all. Another spot that I'm interested in is going to be these Dodgers lefties versus Jake Arrieta. I think you can make a case for the righties, but specifically the lefties. Jake Arrieta has just been real bad versus left-handed bats this season. 5.93 K per 9 with a 5 walk per 9. So just anytime a guy's walking as many guys as he's striking out, that's the spot you want to look to. 5.89 xFIP versus lefties, 6.44 FIP, and a home run per 9 just under 2 at 1.98. I don't know who's texting me. 42.7% hard hit rate versus left-handed bats with a 37% fly ball rate. That's definitely what we're going to be looking towards. And these guys are really cheap as well for how talented they are. We got guys like Muncy at 4.4, Seager at 4K. Even Beatty should crack the lineup 3.1, Verdugo 3.8. You can pair him up with the punt catcher Will Smith at 2.8. There's a lot of options, a lot of ways you can go with this team. And this Phillies bullpen has been fairly bad in the past over the past 14 days. So definitely once they get pulled, still a favorable spot for the Dodgers. So we've seen their team total rise from 4.7, I believe, 4.8 to 5.1. Early in the day, the whole total of this game has risen a little bit. So should be a spot where we see some runs scored. Definitely a targetable spot as a stack or for some one-offs. So with that being said, let's do these home run calls and then we can wrap this video up. So for the high price guy, it's just like pick which Rocky you think is going to hit a home run. And I'll just go with Nolan Arenado here. I love those reverse splits. I'll take the best Rocky hitter in this spot. Yeah, I think I'll just do that. So Nolan Arenado, I feel like I really don't have too much to say here. And then in the cheaper range, let's see. Haven't really thought too much about this, so we can scroll through here, see who's projected to be in the lineup. I'm tempted. All right, we're gonna go with. I'm stuck between two guys, between Kyle Schwarber and someone like Vlad at 3.9. So I'm gonna go ahead and go with Kyle Schwarber since he is versus the worst pitcher. I'd rather not target German Marquez that much, even in Coors. So Kyle Schwarber versus Miles Mikolas. We've talked about Miles Mikolas' struggles versus left-handed bats this season quite a bit. Above 40% hard contact and I believe above 40% fly ball rate to left-handed bats. It's warm in St. Louis tonight, 81 degrees, 49% humidity. So I'm definitely interested in some of these lefties for the Cubs for sure. Kyle Schwarber leading off has shown some pop this season and in his career. That's going to be the guy that I go to for my low price bomb of the day. So with that all being said, guys, thank you so much for checking out this video. If you did enjoy, please do leave a like. Please do leave a comment. It really helps the channel out a lot, and you'll be able to win a giveaway I mentioned in the beginning of the video. So with that being said, guys, thanks for checking it out. I hope you win a ton of money tonight, and I will see y'all tomorrow. Peace.